Hey everybody, Merry Christmas. Are you guys all ready for the day? Zilla's joining us for now. Aspen's late as always. What? That's weird. Are you ready for tomorrow, Zilla?
I am ready. I am. We have, yeah, I'll just go with that.
Well, I had to postpone the big family dinner with the rest of my family for a week because of the weather. But we're
Yeah.
having like my household Christmas still tomorrow, and then we had exciting news tonight. My daughter got proposed to. She said yes. So
Yay! Congratulations. That's awesome.
it was exciting.
Yes. I was trying to figure out where Santa was before we came on. I'm like, darn it, it's too cold even for him to go out.
I wonder where he is right now because I know 6 p.m. our time it was Christmas in Italy.
Oh, okay. Well, it's in Florida about 35 degrees right now.
It is 12 degrees right now here. I don't know what the wind chill is right now though.
That's cold.
Yeah, I mean it's warm in comparison to what it's been the last 2 days, but yeah.
Wow. They're in Tennessee. I know it's probably all over, but in Tennessee where my sisters are, they had to put things against their doors because they were flying open from the wind last night.
Oh wow.
And that was with them locked. So they said it was pretty rough. So they have like this three they have three counties
Hmm.
on the electricity grid, and they're turning one off for like 20 minutes and turning the other one back on, the other two back on, and then they're rotating. They've been doing that for 24 hours now. So they go without power for like 20 minutes and then it comes back on for like an hour and then it just keeps rotating like that.
Oh wow.
Crazy. I guess it's bitter cold up there.
Yeah, I know the highest that I caught our wind gusts was 42 miles per hour. It pretty much calmed down now. Oh, there's Aspen. Hang on.
Oh, good.
Let's see. Okay. Hey, Aspen.
Hey,
Um,
sorry. It wouldn't be normal if I wasn't late.
we didn't get as much snow as we were supposed to get, but we did. I mean, it's definitely gonna be a white Christmas still.
Yeah.
Like the temperatures have been horrible, and like I put our thermostat up to 80, and the temperatures were dropping so fast that it wasn't keeping up. So at one point, even though my furnace was set to 80, it was 70 in here.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was getting a little nervous at one point when I looked and seen how far it was because I started like I warned the kids. I was like, I'm cranking the heat up now. It was like hours before the storm was supposed to hit, and it wasn't working. So, but
Yeah.
we didn't lose power. The house stayed warm.
That's
We're
good. Hi, Aspen.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm glad to hear that. Are you ready for Christmas?
Yeah, no.
that's why
But, uh,
he was doing last minute things.
and then, yeah, but Amy was like, hey, do you want to come on? I was like, and procrastinate longer from doing the things I need to do? Absolutely.
my, my kind of guy. Wait till the
Well,
very last second.
it wasn't completely your fault. You had some delays happen.
Yeah. But, I can't complain. I mean, because I don't have, a blizzard happening here. And, I'm blessed enough to be able to have a big family that I can celebrate with tomorrow. So I'm happy for that. Yeah. And you're about to have a bigger family, Amy.
You missed that conversation.
Yeah. I'm sorry. But you and I had it earlier.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and I get to do multiple Christmases instead of, I mean, it's always multiple, but now it's going to be multiple weekends. So that's going to be interesting.
Where's your husband from, Amy? Is he from there as well?
He's from southern Indiana.
Oh. Down in those parts.
Middle of nowhere. At the moment, he's sitting on the couch across the room from me over there.
Your tree looks beautiful.
Thank you. I figured I would do an extra festive background tonight.
I guess I can turn my camera on.
I still like the skeleton.
You see him over there?
Mm-hmm. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've pretty much determined he's just going to be year-round.
Yeah.
In my house, so. Dean is here to stay.
Now, Crimesville, where are you at? Remind me.
Florida.
Florida, that's right.
Right now, we're calling it Arctic Florida.
What is it, like 50?
30s. That's very cold for us.
So you definitely have blizzards dropping out of trees.
Literally, yes.
You should everyone should bring the crocodiles and alligators inside. They're cold.
Yeah, let me just go catch some. I'll let you know when I'm back.
They teach that in school there, right? Catching alligators?
Yep.
They're so cute.
Yep.
Oh, I decorated for y'all.
I see. That red light looks familiar.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, it's like this morning when we woke up, it was 28 degrees here.
Wow.
Probably the coldest in a long time. It feels like Christmas here, finally. I think it's cool. The colder, the better.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it's going to be this cold, though, I want snow. So.
I think you're right. I do too, but that's asking too much. So yeah. I won't ask for snow. The cold, we can take that.
I was in Las Vegas once when it snowed, which was weird. It's definitely weird to see the strip like covered in like snow. Okay, like how much snow do you guys have? Like, did you get like a couple inches or anything?
We got enough that the husband went out and plowed, but it's not enough that it like shut anything down. Like I went out and did some last minute errands today.
Our power company here in North Carolina, like there were like 60,000 people without power because they were like shutting the power off to keep the power grid from going like I don't know, like I guess it was overloading the power grid, and so they were doing like intermittent power outages, which was like on Christmas Eve. So I had some friends that didn't have power for like 8 hours today.
Luckily, we like our stayed on, so that it would have been really bad if we would have lost power.
Yeah, I'm on the same. There's a major trauma hospital a block away from my condo, and I'm on the same power grid as they are. They're on the same and so I rarely lose power. Knock on wood.
Yeah, because
everyone else around me will lose power, but my building doesn't.
That happened to me when we used to live for like 10 years, 1 block away from a police station.
Yeah.
And we very rarely lost power there. And when we did, we were one of the first ones back up.
Yeah, that's what the husband was saying is if we lost power, we wouldn't not have power for long because there's multiple fire departments nearby.
One of my friends was at her parents today, and she they lost power, and they have a generator, and so she was recording her parents are like in their 60s, and she was recording them. Her mother was like in the kitchen cooking, and she was like, "I have told him all year to get oil for that generator because then the generator went out, and they hadn't filled it up with whatever gas or whatever that you're supposed to use in it." Mm-hmm. And she was like, and he's like, "I know."
What time does your Christmas start tomorrow, Aspen?
9 a.m.
Well, since I'm not sleeping, I'm making everyone follow my kids' normal wake up time.
Yeah.
Which is 6 a.m. because I'm like, well, I'll still be awake, so we'll just stick with the regular time. We'll all go to sleep after.
Right. Most Christmas Eves, I end up like wrapping presents at like 2 a.m. So this is not out of the norm for me.
Yeah. Well, I just didn't see the point in me going to bed and then having to get up an hour later when
Right.
when I was like, I can just stay up because she's always got up and came down the stairs at 6 o'clock on the dot without an alarm, always. So I'm like, you can just do that and go back and take your nap after breakfast like you would any other year. Like, I know it's not going to last forever,
Right.
but we'll just stick with it again. So,
How about you, Carmzilla? What's your routine tomorrow?
I'm sleeping in.
Are you?
Yeah.
Do you have family in the area? Or are you?
I don't.
Okay.
My boys are, but we already did it. They're adults. So we already finished. So it's just a chill day for me, which is kind of nice because you don't have to run here, run there, get this done.
Yeah.
So you kind of miss it when your kids get older.
Right.
And I don't have a lot of family here. So just my boys.
Are they both married?
No.
Okay.
25 and 20. Hold on. 25 and 22.
Okay. Because I know when a lot of guys get married, it's like, then they. I mean, typically females make the holiday decision. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're doing the stuff with their dad.
Okay.
So it's fine.
Yeah, that's why
I'm
we're
good.
doing our family Christmas a little early tomorrow because my two oldest nieces, they have to like split. They have to go to like 4 places. So.
Yeah. When I was younger, we did that, but you do kind of miss having the little ones open presents and the excitement of it as they grow older. It's just, I never got as much excitement out of it.
That's how Christmas has been that way for us for like several years now. But my youngest sister had a baby last year, a little COVID baby, and and so she's 18 months now, I think 17, and so it's Christmas is really I think it's gonna be fun this year because it does make a difference when there's like little kids.
Yes, it does because they're excited, they're happy.
Right. Yeah, when it's like adults and teenagers, it's like thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to see a teenager excited.
Right. Like, they have their presents open in 10 seconds flat because they're way more expensive the older they get. They only get like 3, 4, maybe 5.
And then we still exchange, like my entire family, we buy for everyone. And so it's a lot of gifts. But I feel like with my siblings and stuff, I feel like we should hand each other money because I'm like, oh, here's something, I just thought you might want.
Yep.
So I wish we would stop. I wish we would draw names, but I like buying gifts, so it's okay.
I have 5 sisters, so we did that with all the nieces and nephews. They're all grown now, but it just got to be so much. So we would exchange names for the siblings.
Right.
And it worked out so good like that for years.
Yeah. I joke because it's like my sister, like she had a baby, and then my nieces, my 2 oldest nieces, both have serious boyfriends. I have an aunt that came to live with my parents this year. My brother's got 3 stepkids and a wife, so everyone keeps adding members to our family. And I'm like, I was joking that I was like, well, I had to balance it out, so I got rid of someone.
Right.
So I was like, no one else is doing their part.
Oh yeah.
Well, I did Friends Christmas last weekend, Household Christmas this weekend, and then I'll do the rest of the family Christmas next weekend.
That's fun.
Jeez.
So normally it's Household Christmas morning, and then later, like late afternoon, is when like rest of the family shows up. But we're older people and not a good combination. So I was like, we'll just put it a week. It's not a big deal.
Hi, Randy Gravett. Merry Christmas. Hello, Lake. Merry Christmas.
I know there's somebody in the chat that's still wrapping presents or something. Not everybody can be done, other than Aspen.
No, I haven't started.
You haven't even started?
No, well, because I had my whole theme like planned out, and I knew that I spent a lot of money on wrapping paper because I like wrapping, and then when like I got that email that it was delayed, I was like, I spent an hour on the phone with Amazon, and so then I had to scramble to figure out what I was going to wrap everything with and still make it look nice. So I just put everything like the paper all together. Luckily, I have a lot of wrapping paper, so I can make it work. It's just not what I wanted.
Yeah, I have tons because I overbuy every year, and the way I do it, I don't do tags. Everyone has their own wrapping paper.
Yeah.
So, which has always worked because then no one knew what their presents were. But since I overbuy because I don't want to run out and then not be able to find more, now I just have like an overabundance of like random rolls.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
That's what I've always done. So I mean, this year it's actually paying off because I needed it. And of course, Amazon was like, "Well, it still says it'll be delivered eventually, so we can't refund you until it." I'm like,
Thank you, Chris.
what's Mel doing tonight? Did you talk to her?
Apparently she told Chris that she was going to get her beauty rest.
Not that she needs it.
She thinks she does, so she's sleeping. Sugar Pie wants to know where your photo was taken, Zilla.
Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I was up in the mountains and took it, looking down. Thank you. I guess I better go to comments. Thank you, Sugar Pie.
Your family Christmas like an all-day extravaganza, Aspen?
Well, like my oldest, like I said, my two oldest nieces, they'll have to leave and go to their mom's. But I'll probably hang out like all day. And then I'll come home tomorrow night, and then we're doing a show on It's a Crummy Shame tomorrow night at like 9:30. So I'll come home and hang out with Sunny and everyone, and then I'm working Monday for a little bit.
Oh, you have that one client flying in or something?
Yeah, I have a client flying in, so I wasn't going to say no to that.
Yeah.
So, and it's a slow week, so I mean, working sporadically is not a problem. And then I've got some videos I want to put together this week. So I'm getting my new computer Monday. It's ordered, so it should be here.
Was that your Christmas present to yourself?
Partially for myself, partially for my parents.
That was nice.
Although I'm not allowed to tell my siblings.
Okay. I'll stay mum for you.
Right. And I know computer people are probably they probably are like, oh, why did you get? But I really wanted an iMac, like the desktop, like with the big 24-inch monitor or whatever. And they're super expensive, but I was like, that's what I wanted. So, and then like some of my tech friends are like, but you could get so much more for this, and I don't know any of that. So I'm like, I know Apple.
I love my iPhones. I love my iPads. Eventually, I'll probably have an iMac, but I just like my HP gaming laptops.
Right. I figured if people can make music, like make videos and like movies on iMac, then I can make YouTube videos. Because I'm not going to do anything beyond that, probably. I don't game.
I mean, while I was waiting on you, and you should have been wrapping gifts, I put together the home tour on the other channel and a short on this channel that I have to. It's already saved as a draft. It just isn't public yet. and all kinds of fun things
Yeah,
while you were procrastinating on the phone.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm going to put together a video on when I was in Portugal and when I went to the condo where Madeline McCann was abducted from. So I'm going to put that video together this week. So, granted, if I can get my computer like set up properly. So.
Oh, Chris asked about the holiday nails. Let me see if I can get them.
Ooh, those are gorgeous.
So we went with a Griswold Christmas.
I saw your daughter's nail. She has nails like you do.
She does have long nails. She didn't get to get her nails done this weekend, so hers are like a couple weeks old. And she was like, "They're not the right color." She knew the proposal was coming. He wasn't fooling anyone. But yeah, she's got long nails too.
My sister, hers aren't as long as yours, but she does. She's very specific on the way she likes hers, and they're very long, and she likes them with like I don't know the shape. They're not a coffin, but they're very long, and like her girl she's gone to for years is moving, and she's like there's no one in the area where she lives that like does nail art the way that her girl does, so she's devastated because she's like you with her nails as far as like she puts thought and effort into it, and they're friends, so.
I bought the stuff for these nails last year. Like, I was a year ahead.
I'm just proud if I don't have like hair color under my fingernails, so.
Nails, what are those? My job I do, I can't have them.
Now my mind, of course, is like, what jobs can't you have nails from?
I find a few things that I have struggles with my nails, but not a big deal. Mr. Chaotic's always there to fix the problem.
I was thinking about that one. I think we talked about that once a long time ago. I was like, we should come up with like a series of tests to do for a live like one night, and like things Amy can or may not be able to do with her nails, and like you can like see if you can attempt to do each of them.
So when I was updating the house, I had some of the outlets changed to where they have built-in USB ports, and apparently I cannot plug the cord in because my nail hits before the cord will.
Oh, jeez.
Learned that tonight while I was setting this up. And then, what was the other thing the other day? Oh, I've been talking about getting a vintage typewriter. Heard that I will be able to, but it'd be hard to do.
Yeah.
So I haven't tested, but people are doubting my capabilities. I'll figure it out, I'm sure. And then I usually use a metal straw in all my drinks. So I use my straw to cheat to open my cans.
Smart.
You just learn little things that
Right.
make it easier. But
Well, cans are hard. Even if you have short nails, cans can be hard because then you can't get any. You can't. Like I don't drink soda, but like I'll drink like bubbly, the carbonated water, and like sometimes if my nails are really short, I can't open them.
I use my keys.
That's smart.
I have a screwdriver, 2 different kinds on there, and it just goes right under and does it on my keys, so I always have it.
Yeah, I think I've used a metal tip wrap tail comb before. And letter openers are good for a lot of things too.
Yes.
I love mine.
I have a thing for like really kind of like unique, like weird letter openers.
I mean, no judgment here, because I think that was my first thing that got me open to like all of the oddly old things I like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started with letter openers. Now I'm on to like the wax seal stamps. Now I want a typewriter. All of my friends are just going to start getting invites, snail mail, that are wax sealed and
I would love that.
letters for no reason because I want to play in wax.
That would be awesome. I used to want an old typewriter, but I I guess I kind of still do. Um,
Yeah.
I like everything old,
Yeah.
as long as it's cool, not like.
Yeah, I've been trying to find a really cool, like, leather, old style journal. Like the really, really old ones that, like, you pretty much have to tie shut or something. I've been trying to find one like that, and I found some, just not the one that's, I'm like, that's the one I need to have. Like,
Do you want it to actually be old, or do you just want it to look old?
it doesn't have to be old. I just want it to, like, have that aesthetic to it.
Because I love books and I love things like that, but I'm weird with old paper sometimes because it feels weird and it can smell weird.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'm pretty sure my office, if it wasn't for the abundance of candles that I have in there all the time, would smell like an old library.
no, I do like old hardcover books. I'll take the smell from that.
I even bought a like oil diffuser that's the scent literally said old library on it at one point.
Yeah. I have a collection of old pencil sharpeners somewhere.
Amy, you have to go on to Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
They're 75% off on Halloween.
They actually have stuff left.
Right?
They do. You got to go online. Yep.
Doing tomorrow.
There was some cool stuff.
Yeah. I can't find my old vintage Ouija board, and I would like to find. I think someone might have stolen it. But
I have a few, but I want to get like a really, really, really old one. Like,
right, yeah, like mine was from like the 60s or 50s or 60s. So I always thought it was funny if you like anytime you move, you should leave a Ouija board in the closet or in the attic, and just like not saying it, so the new owners like will just find it randomly, and they'll of course they'll be like, why is there a Ouija board in our attic?
Yeah.
That's how my sense of humor works, though.
I mean, there was something else like really weird the other day that I was thinking of that I wanted. Oh, I want to learn how to write with the old, like the calligraphy fountain pens.
Yeah.
I don't know how well that's going to work with my nails, not going to lie.
Oh, yeah.
Where I hold pens, but we'll see.
Right. And then you have to get into the whole, like, because the ink is what I think I've heard makes the biggest difference, too. Like the different types and qualities of ink makes all the difference with the calligraphy style.
Interesting. And then how you can change the tips, that kind of throws me off, too, because I'm like, well, how do I know which one to use for what?
Well, I guess take a class.
Guess I'll be researching that soon.
I know that I know there was somewhere I saw recently in Charlotte you could take a calligraphy class.
Oh,
it was
really?
like 6 week, like once a week thing. Like you could just sign up for and do like calligraphy lessons.
Hmm. I don't know if I'm sure we have something around here somewhere. I just don't know. I don't know where I would search here. I'd probably have to drive to the other side of the city.
You just ask. I feel like Kevin Greenlee might be someone that would like know how to do calligraphy. You should just message Murder Sheet and see if they know.
I'm being nice tonight.
I'm just saying that I feel like the personality of they might know calligraphy.
I'm not.
Remind me to mute. Hi, HCC. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, why is that HCC on?
I don't know. They all have the link. And by they all, I mean quite a few people. Which is why I put friends. Although, to be fair, this was like a last minute thing. I was like back and forth on if I was going to do it. And then finally, I like literally while I was talking to you, I was like, I think I'm just going to do it, and messaged you. So. Well, because I knew the proposal was happening, and I didn't know like how that whole scenario was also going to play out, or like how long it was going to last, or
Right.
we had champagne after, like the whole thing. So I didn't want to like say yes and then I'm still here drinking champagne with the children.
Right. And you don't want to be like, oh, honey, I've got to go do a live now.
Right. In the middle of her moment.
Right. I'm just glad that it worked out because I know that, you know, with this, with everything coming in the storm and everything that, you know, you and I, you'd said to us the other night that you were like, I hope that it can work out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, are there parts of Indiana that are like worse off? Like, are there, you know people with, like without power or?
I think the further north you get, the worse it gets. But I haven't heard as far as people losing power. Now I know there was a few places like when the storm first hit, like with the winds and stuff really hard. There was a few that did, but I don't think it lasted very long.
Yeah, like I know, like Deb said, like their like internet or Wi-Fi went out or something like that. But I haven't talked to anyone that's lost power.
Yeah, I didn't lose power, internet, cable, nothing. So,
Did you all have a lot of wind?
Yeah.
We've had a ton of wind here.
Okay. Welcome to snow hurricane.
Right. You guys have had a ton of wind too, right, Amy? Like that's been the worst part of it.
yeah, that and the temperatures, because
Yeah.
it's been unbearable. Like right now, it's saying it's 12 degrees, but that's not including the wind chill.
I was getting a kick out of everyone on Facebook, like posting their temperatures. Like I almost felt like everyone was just like trying to. They're like, oh well, mine's 9 degrees.
I mean, we're below zero for a long time.
I'm gonna look right now since you
I
said
am
it.
too.
It feels pretty. The problem with here is it's like almost like a moisture cold, so you can't even layer up. It just goes right through you. It's weird.
Nothing goes right through you unless you're in like northern Illinois, Indiana, or like Wisconsin. When I went to college, I mean that goes right through you.
Yeah.
Like I remember getting windburn, like just going to class.
39 here. Feels like 35.
It's
That's
20
good.
degrees. It's 20 here, and it feels like wait, where's that? It feels like 14. So that's really cool for us.
Our average is 70 degrees at night right now, is what it should be.
I mean, even Indiana was like 50 degrees last week.
It's going to be the coming week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And it's funny because like, they've had it like Sunny was they've had it as well. And I was like, it's weird, like it's not normal that like the entire area, like I mean the entire like North America and like Canada is getting like the same thing happening all at once. I said it's probably the most unified the area's been in years. Like we can all identify with what each other's going through.
Didn't they say this storm was like once a generation or something?
I feel like they say that with everything though anymore, right?
Yes.
And when did they start naming winter storms? Like when I kept seeing this Elliott thing, and I was like, they didn't used to name them, right?
We name hurricanes. I've never heard of snowstorms.
Like I feel like a few years ago they started naming winter storms, and I'm like,
I was trying to remember when we lived in Colorado, because we were there 15 years and we had several, but I can't remember if they named them or not.
right. Like I just feel like growing up in the Midwest, I've gone through enough that I think I would have remembered, and I can think that's a new thing.
I was gonna say I didn't even know this one was named until you messaged me the other day.
Right. Yeah. Well, I was like, what are they talking about? Storm Elliott, and I'm like, I was like, what a name, Elliott. Like, I feel like Elliott would be a polite person. Like they would just like come, you know.
I mean, they would have started at A, right? Like they wouldn't just jump to E.
Right. I don't know who makes these decisions, so.
Well, at least you guys don't have like 3 different spaghetti models to follow.
Well,
They'll,
I mean, crime. So the ones that you've gotten this year, the ones that Florida's gotten this year, have like all snaked their way up to North Carolina too.
yep, yep.
It was the one we got a lot of rain from and winds, even in Charlotte. Um,
Oh, that's right. You guys did. We sent it up
L or
towards you. We didn't want to leave you out.
well, because a lot of times they'll come out, they'll go back out over the water and then come back up to Charleston, and then like we're a direct hit. If anything comes into Charleston, it usually comes straight to Charlotte.
Yeah, how was that last one for you guys? It was pretty
Um,
simple for us.
well,
I did.
the tropical storm last with that one I missed because that was the day I left for Portugal.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, that's
but the one that was
right.
before that, I can't remember. Was it Eli or something, or what was it called? I can't remember.
I don't remember. There's
Yeah,
been so many this year. Like our electricity went out, I think, on the first one for a week. But then everything came back on, and but you really schools aren't back in. I mean, it
right.
really shuts things down, and until they get the trees cleaned up. Now the West Coast got hit really hard.
Yeah, I know
um
Deb from
yeah,
her parents live in Fort Myers or outside of Fort Myers, and
yeah,
I know they had a lot of damage their home and they lost their business and
yeah.
they lost several things. So and I know
That's
a
gonna
lot of
take
people.
years to
Yeah,
fix. Usually the last one that we had that you guys got was came in from the east. Oh wait, is it? Yeah, came in east
most of
to
ours all
west.
come in from the east because that's where the ocean is. Sorry.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is usually on the east coast of Florida, it hits the Gulf side because there's a current, there's a whole story behind it. The Space Coast is right here,
Mhm.
and they built, I mean, this is where all the rockets and stuff take off,
Yeah.
and they purposely built it on the East Coast because there's some kind of wind current or water current, and it sucks the storms into the Gulf.
Okay.
It is the strangest thing, but it's this obviously this year it didn't work.
Right.
But I would have to say that last one wasn't as bad as the one before it, but having them back to back within 3 weeks isn't good.
Yeah.
I think I lived here for 10 years before. I mean, we had one tropical storm in 10 years, and now we're having 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah. I mean,
And
if anything hits Charlotte, it's usually a tropical storm by the time it hits here. Um, we've had a few come through with like actual hurricanes still, but like our coast has had several.
yeah, you guys got hit. Well, the issue with the one is like I we go kayaking. It's called All Over Canal, and we were out there one day and we were just fishing, and I'm not joking, a 12-foot alligator went by. I'm like, what? And they were never in there, not in that area. I mean, there
Right.
was manatees, dolphins, fish, but I saw that gator and I'm like, yeah, no, can't do it.
Hurricanes still don't scare me as much as tornadoes do. Like growing up in the Midwest, like I mean, you guys get them in Indiana, I'm sure too. You know, like in
Yeah.
we get them in North Carolina, but I mean, like growing up, it's like when you would get those giant tornadoes, like
Mhm.
those were scary because you didn't know that they were coming. At least hurricanes, typically you get at
You
least.
have warning. Yes. I agree with that. I grew up in the Midwest myself, and it's definitely I was part okay, I'm showing my age a little bit, but the flood in Mississippi in 1978, I think, that was crazy.
That was
That
before my time.
yeah,
I remember the ones in the Mississippi River in '93 because
okay.
like when it like flooded St. Louis and all the areas around there.
Yeah. It was, we lived in apartments and the first level was getting flooded, but we were on the second level. So it was crazy. But it takes years to fix all of that. And water damage, it's, it's so hard because even if you get all the water out, you have to deal with mold here.
That's what I would worry about. Like when I see people like drying out their houses after it's been flooded, I'm like
I
I would
think
never feel I would never feel safe in there again. I would always feel like there was mold, even if they told me there wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Which I even remember. Do you remember after like Katrina? I think it was. Um, like there was a big problem with people were like buying used cars, and then
Yes.
and no, at that time I think they didn't have to tell you if it had been from in a flood,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was like, whoa.
And a lot of those cars had damage, but they didn't notice it. Ugh.
Yeah.
I just think once you get water damage, it's hard going back.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they wouldn't know. Like it was so flooded. How would you not know?
Well, I mean, they probably like got they probably like sold them or whatever, and then like whoever bought them probably like did whatever they had to, and then sold them to different parts of the country where no one would even know.
Yeah.
But I think I live as far south as I ever want to live.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't say the same.
Right.
One day I'm going north.
Me and Zilla's gonna swap.
We are.
No, I'd go to like Costa Rica, but I mean like in the U.S. Like I don't want to live in Georgia or Florida or Alabama.
Yeah.
I like having seasons still a little bit.
I do too.
I would
I'm the
never.
same way.
What?
I don't even like driving through Alabama. It's like the never-ending state.
That's how I feel about Kansas. Oh my gosh. It takes
Pennsylvania,
forever.
Ohio, Pennsylvania, Nebraska. There are a lot of states like that. I mean, Texas takes like 2 days to drive through.
Well, and I think it's funny when I drive to Tennessee from here. We're in the Carolinas, South Carolina,
Yeah,
and
then 26.
And then we go right into North Carolina, and then my sister lives right on the border of North Carolina. It's like 20 minutes, if even. So
Where at? Do you mind if I ask?
not at all. My one sister is by Dollywood near. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's not far from Gatlinburg.
So Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge.
Okay.
And then the other one's 20 minutes. Well, she's closer to North Carolina, and I can't remember because it's newer, but it's.
Is she in Tennessee or?
Yeah, they are. It's Cock County, Cocké.
Yeah, that's like an hour and a half. Like because like I'm like an hour and a half from Asheville, so like I can be in Dollywood probably in like 3 hours.
That's cool. That's very cool.
The mountains around there are beautiful.
I love that area. I hate the traffic. But
yeah.
It's you got to get where you're going early, or it takes a little while.
Yeah, but I avoid some of the like Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg stuff, but like the mountains around there are gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I'm gonna get me a log cabin someday. Look at me. You can visit, and I'll come visit you.
There's even some gorgeous places in South Carolina that are like kind of on that like Tennessee South Carolina border that are like way more mountainous than people think, because that the Smoky Mountains go all through there.
Yes, I love it up there.
Yeah. I think Deliverance Land.
Well, when we drove through Alabama, The reason I say it was like the never-ending state is I took naps and would wake up and we were still in Alabama, and it never it was the same for the entire state.
Yeah. No offense to Alabama. Other than Huntsville, I'm like, I can't think of a reason I'd want to go there.
Yeah, I don't like. I will go out of my way now to not have to go through Alabama.
Yeah, you just come over to North Carolina, hang out with me, and then go down south if you're going to Florida.
It's
It's
perfect.
not that much further.
I was hinting at that on my way back from Florida.
Well, you went by the signs for Charleston. You guys stayed down there an extra day though, didn't you, or something? Because I remember we talked about it.
When we came up and I was messaging you, we were headed to Knoxville.
That's right.
I stayed in,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, I can be in Knoxville in like 4.5 hours.
I didn't think Pennsylvania was that bad.
When I fly there, I fly into Knoxville.
Really?
So
I liked Knoxville more than I thought that I would, but there's not enough to keep me occupied for me to do like a whole trip there.
No.
Like my couple of days was good.
Yeah.
But I couldn't stay like a whole week there even, I don't think.
No. You could do stuff if you went out of Knoxville, like nature wise and stuff, and like other things.
I don't do
I know you don't. But you do like nature, like I would, like I've always said I'll go hiking if like when I see the trailhead, if I see a wheelchair accessible sign, that means I can handle it. And there has to be a reward. Like there has to be something at the end of it that's going to be a payoff. Like I don't get these people that go like do a hike and then I'm like I need a waterfall. Like I need something that's going to entice me to keep going.
Yeah.
There's a casino not far from there that's actually that's really cool.
We spent I think 2 days in Knoxville and then the majority of a whole day in Pigeon Forge. But
yeah. I've never spent more than a day or two in Knoxville at a time.
Well, we got in. I think we just did like dinner and maybe a drink or two or something.
Right. I've been to a concert there. I think that's usually why I've gone there.
And then the next day it was like a whole all day thing and then shut the bars down at the end. So, and then we headed out the next morning and went over to Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, Pigeon Forge can be like that whole like it can be a little gimmicky, but I do love Dolly Parton, so I'll go hang out with Dolly Parton.
Like I had seen pictures of Pigeon Forge and I knew like there was a lot of like museums and attractions and stuff, right? But like until in the middle of it, you don't realize how on top of all of these things are on each other.
Yes.
And it's just people everywhere.
Right. Yep. Something they have in Pigeon Forge that is actually really cool is their Ripley's Believe It or Not aquarium is one of the coolest aquariums I've ever gone to. Like, and I was there for a wedding once, and I was like looking for things to do, and I was like, oh, we'll go to the aquarium, and it was really fun.
Well, I only went to Pigeon Forge to go to Alcatraz East. Like, not even gonna lie, that was the only reason I went.
We joke that for like people that are in like acting and singing around here, it's like if they can't make it in New York, then like and they can't go to Vegas, they and they can't go to Myrtle Beach, they end up in Pigeon Forge. Doing like the country western shows and all of those things.
Have either of you ever rode the roller coaster in the mountains?
No.
Don't.
I'm not a very mountainy person.
Yeah.
Didn't catch
No, I mean there's something here in the mountains in North Carolina that you would probably love, because in the 70s or 60s and 70s there was a someone built a Wizard of Oz theme park.
That's cool.
I think I seen pictures.
And it shut down in like the late 80s, early 90s, but it's still like, and then they just left it. So there's like a yellow brick road, the house, it's got all the stuff in it, and it's privately owned. And they just recently, a couple years ago, they've started opening it up for tours like 1 or 2 weekends a year. And you have to take like this weird tram to get up there.
How far is this from you?
Probably like an hour and a half, I think, maybe. I can't remember exactly where it is, but I've always wanted to go. I've not, but I missed the weekend that it's available. Every time.
Maybe we should try and figure this out.
I would, yeah, I would love it because I mean it's super. I mean the idea of an abandoned theme park anyway is cool.
Yeah, I do know, and they didn't have it open when I was in Knoxville, but they opened a Alice in Wonderland themed bar.
Oh, cool.
I really want to go to.
I like anything weird like that. There's somewhere in Florida. I don't know if you might know about it, Crimezilla, where they say they have real life mermaids.
Yes.
I've always wanted to go there.
Yes.
Because it's so like kitschy and like roadside motel looking.
Yeah, it's in Orlando and they do shows.
Yeah.
And they're literally under there. I was watching how they train and stuff.
I follow them on social media.
You know what though? That's crazy because they have air pipes underneath in the water for them. I thought it was so cool. But the kids love watching them.
Yeah. I was like, oh, real life mermaids, I need to see this.
And they interact with the people. It's very what do we say? Like it's like a
I mean, it seems like very mid-century, like kitsch, like
Yes. Yeah, it's a popular place. People check Groupon. You might find a coupon.
Right.
Isn't that the one where you can book like a brunch or something with your kids to have brunch with the mermaids?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
They can buy their own mermaid tail.
Yep.
I think the only thing that's kept me from doing it is like wherever it's at, it's like it's far enough away that it's like there's not a lot to do if you went. Like for me to like go just for there, I'd be like
right.
then you'd have to like go.
It is near. I want to say it's near Disney.
It's a little bit outside of Orlando though. If it's the same place I'm thinking of, like what's it called? Like I can't think.
I'll find.
I remember thinking it was like at least an hour away from Orlando.
Friends of ours went to it and they took a bunch of pictures. Otherwise I wouldn't have known about it. Hold on.
But
I'm looking it up while you're
talking. I love Coney Island up in New York. Like I've gone to the I don't know if they have it anymore, but the freak show. And like the museum, like the freak show museum. And like see like the
I think they still have the one out in is it Long Beach or something out in Cali? I think that one's still around, but I don't think any of the other ones are.
Everyone probably thinks I'm weird.
You were close. It's Weeki Wachee Springs State Park.
Yes.
Weeki Wachee Wachee Springs. Where is Lake Nona? So you're right. It's right outside of Orlando. Oh my gosh. They have a mermaid academy for you, Aspen.
I don't want to be a mermaid. I just want to like go hang out and like be the mermaid and like drink like a tiki drink.
Okay. I just thought you might want to
wear a Panama shirt or Bermuda shirt.
Can you imagine places me and you would end up if we traveled together, Aspen?
Well, I know one place I would have gone in Portugal if you had been with me, but there were 2 different bone chapels that were all like I don't know if you've ever heard of those kind of places, but it's like the entire chapel is made of human bones.
Yeah, the walls and the ceilings and everything.
And I was like, oh, Amy would have loved to have gone there.
Yeah.
But most people look at me and they're like, I mean, it was hard enough to get my friends to go to the Madeline McCann condominium.
Did you go?
Yeah.
That's cool. I would have gone on something like that.
Yeah, I did. I didn't. I didn't spend a ton of time there because I also didn't want to feel. I didn't want to be like disrespectful and like I didn't want to be like.
Right.
I didn't want to be like, like touristing a devastating thing, but
Right.
but I couldn't not be. I was like 5 minutes away, so I'm like, I can't not go.
Well, we were at a Christmas party when the whole Casey Anthony thing happened
Mm-hmm.
with Kaylee, and we were at a Christmas party like 2 blocks away. So yes, we did the tourist thing and drove through. It was bad. The media was terrible out in front. It was so lit up.
Wasn't
It
that in the
lit up.
summer?
What?
Wasn't that in the summer?
That's when they found the body. Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Zilla, have you ever went to? Because I seen this when I was headed down there, and there was no way I could fit it in. But the Devil's Den Prehistoric Spring.
No, I haven't been to that one. I've been to a few of the springs here, because you can see through the water. It's like clear.
It's like under a cave. Like there's a stairway you underground.
That's cool.
Really want to go see it, but
I would go see. I would see, and I would go to the place. I would go to that place with you. That Mel won't go, and I would spend the night.
arms.
Yeah, and then there's a. I think it was a tuberculosis hospital in Kentucky that I really want to go to. That they turned. I think it was it might have been a mental institution at one time, but then it was a tuberculosis hospital, and it has death tunnels, like where they would.
We have one.
Everyone thinks I'm so weird.
We have one in the city that now the state owns, and like they store like the police horses and stuff on it or whatever. But I heard they're gonna start doing tours because there's like a hospital and then like the whole old psych other building, and I wanted to buy it for the longest time. I was like, I think I could do lots of things with this property, but
See, Chaotic, you need to go to St. Augustine the next time you come. You have to do it around Halloween, though.
I've never been there either.
I mean, to be fair, there was a lot of things that I probably would have forced to fit into the trip if
Right.
it would have just been me and Mr. Chaotic.
Right.
Yeah. But if you do St. Augustine, because it's like the oldest city in the U.S., and they have a huge...
Anthony Greeno loved it.
Huh?
I said Anthony Greeno loved it.
I don't know how we got there, but I'm moving away now.
Probably a bus in someone else's car.
It was on the whole other side of the state.
I'm playing.
Yes, he was far, far away. Although I will say, for the insiders, I have permission now. I'm so excited.
Oh.
Permission to what?
Oh, just create havoc.
Yeah, we can't disclose that publicly, but
I'm watching my borders, let's just say that.
there's a Greeno ban.
You guys can keep them in Indiana.
That's right. See. Look, he invited up here. Aspen asked where he was at, and he still hasn't joined us.
Oh. Snitches get stitches.
What's your favorite Christmas food, Aspen?
Christmas food. I don't know. I guess like anything. Anything with cheese in it. But I mean, like specifically Christmas. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know if I have.
Like if you didn't have it at Christmas, you would be mad because it wasn't.
My grandmother used to make like it's called different things, different places. It's like a lime jello, like ambrosia salad, but with like crushed nuts in it. And she's gone now, so I haven't had it since then. But like that's something I always think about with Christmas, like that I I would love to have that again. But then other than that, like I don't know, we don't really like we change it up a little bit every year. Like we'll have different different things. And I'm not a huge sweets person, so like I'm not like I have to have this dessert or that dessert.
How about you, Zilla?
Mashed potatoes.
Oh,
Real. Not from a box. The real ones.
That would be my kid's answer too.
Yep.
right. Yeah,
Not
if
a
I'm
box.
having traditional like Christmas, yeah, mashed potatoes, roll, you know, that kind of stuff, absolutely.
It's a must. What about you?
Well, see, by the time because I have like the party and then Christmas, right? So by the time everything's made from both events, I don't want food. So I usually, if I'm being honest, I can't say that I have a favorite because I only eat like the tiniest piece of turkey and then my green beans and my mashed potatoes. And then I eat my piece of pumpkin pie and that's it. Like I make all of this stuff and then I'm so sick of looking at it just from preparing it that I don't even want to eat. So I don't know.
I don't eat a ton on Christmas, to be honest. Really, yeah.
I feel like if somebody else did all the work, it would probably still be like the family recipe for the green beans, though.
I like to pick too. Like I like when you have like you know like just kind of eat throughout the day. Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. So like, I don't know. This year, well, next weekend when we actually do regular Christmas dinner, it'll be like DJ's mac and cheese, Mr. Chaos potatoes, and the family green beans recipe.
yeah,
And that's about all I touch, probably.
we're doing Italian this year.
That's what we're doing tomorrow. We're having lasagna, or well, I guess today.
Yeah,
Like, who wants to make? I don't want to make that big feast twice. I was
right.
like, yeah, something else.
Well, we ordered. I think my parents like ordered all. They actually just ordered everything from Olive Garden, like salad, breadsticks, all their sides, and everything. And I think my sister in law is making a lasagna, and then we're making different pastas, and then there was a bakery where cannolis from, and like an Italian cream cake.
Nice.
I'm providing nothing because I don't cook, and everyone no one ever asks me to bring food, and it's probably smart.
Okay, so if Aspen's ever coming to a party, have him just bring something he can pick up at the store.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to like bring something if I you know I'll pay whatever I have to for it. Like, but you know, it's gonna come from like a bakery or something,
He's like, as long as I don't have to make it.
and it has to be pretty. Like I love bringing like the like French macaroons to parties, like because they're so colorful.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't cook either.
I try not to these days.
Yeah, no.
Well, how many people are in your house like on a date like on a nightly basis?
4.
Yes, you're still yeah. Like for me, I'm like it's so pointless to cook. One, it's expensive to go out and like to cook for one person. It's kind of like ridiculous. Plus, I
It
don't like
is.
doing it.
I agree.
Would you
It's
move?
just so easy to order things. I feel like they're professional and they do it so much better than I.
I wonder what time everybody else's little ones get up for Christmas.
Mine always got up around 7 in the morning.
Mine was 6.
That's probably somewhere in between, but for both, you know, like I would say most people's kids probably are between 6 and 7, right?
Yeah.
I would think, but I'm gonna move this a little bit. I mean, it seems like a normal time frame, but
Like by the time you fall asleep, you gotta get up. The adults.
not to me.
Right.
Well, you're different. You have insomnia.
Fair point.
We
Yeah.
used to actually, when I was a kid, Santa would come, like, because Christmas Eve we would always go to my dad's side of the family during the day, spend the whole day there. Um, I was really involved in church when I was a kid, so like we would, and I went to parochial school, so we had a Christmas Eve service every Christmas Eve night, and so I like participated in that and like a manger scene and all that stuff. Um, and so Santa would come while we were at church on Christmas Eve. Like, so for like my immediate family, when it was just my siblings and I and our parents, like we would come home from church and Santa would have come while we were gone. Because then the first thing we would do then Christmas morning was get up and go to my other grandparents' house. So I actually liked it because like Santa came to my house before any of my friends, before anyone else.
Yeah. When we were teenagers, we used to go to midnight mass, come back, and do presents.
And there was a tradition as well that I would ride home with my grandparents from church on Christmas Eve and look at Christmas lights, which, you know, as I got older, I realized the entire purpose of that was not to just look at Christmas lights, but so that my parents could get home and make sure everything
Right.
was good. I was like, damn, I was dumb. That quality time with my grandparents was just to keep us out of the house.
So they could prepare your
Yeah,
goodies.
right. So they could make sure Santa had put everything up correctly or whatever.
I'm ready for all the Elf on the Shelves to be back in their boxes.
Mine didn't come out this year. They went on vacation.
Oh, perfect.
Mine said they're on vacation until I have grandkids.
Well, a friend of mine's 3-year-old is really into Elf on the Shelf and what the rules are, because you're not supposed to touch, the kids aren't supposed to touch them.
Someone should make that clear to people.
And so the oldest sister bumped into it and it fell on the floor, and she was the 3-year-old was yelling at her mom, you can't touch it, you can't touch it. So the mom got a oven mitt and tongs and went and picked it up like that. I mean, she freaked out. She's like, it loses its magic if you touch it, you can't touch it.
A few years ago, I went to my best friend's house, whose little girl was like 3 or 4 at the time, and she brought me over to show me her Elf on the Shelf. I didn't know what they were really at the time, and I immediately was like, "Oh, that's so cute," and picked it up, and that little girl's face, like it's like every little bit of joy. Like she went, "You can't touch her," and like she like I felt like I broke the child's heart, and I had no idea. I was like, "Why?" And she goes, "You took her magic," and like I like ruined Christmas for that child, and I was like,
You magic.
I mean, someone should tell other people, the people that do not have children, the whole rules, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't know, so I have to pay for that kid's college now.
There was some I was watching some TikToks this year on Elf on the Shelf, and oh my gosh, some people are so creative.
I don't know if you've seen any of my well, no, because I've been posting in the It's a Crummy Shame Facebook page, but I'm a huge fan of the inappropriate Elf on the Shelf.
Oh really?
And I posted some really good ones, but I still haven't even posted the best ones because they're like not appropriate to put it on. There's some.
I'll give you my phone number so you can text them to me.
Google inappropriate Elf on the Shelf or naughty Elf on the Shelf.
Okay,
and hit images.
I'll do that. I think it's hilarious to see how parents are so creative.
I saw one this year that was a replica of Dexter's Kill Room.
Are you serious?
I never got that creative, but my elf always had at least one day that he 100% was hiding in the alcohol trying to get drunk.
The one I posted today was Elf doing the Justin Timberlake in a box.
Oh,
but it was the candy cane.
I love that song. That's hilarious.
Yeah, there's some really good ones out there. People are really creative. Someone sent me a picture of one that this was like a real elf on the shelf that some parents had done that was like spaghetti and noodles all over like the stove, and like the pots and pans were like all, and they were like, someone's been naughty, and like, and then the caption on the bottom was like, I don't love my children this much. Because they had like made a wreck of the kitchen.
Oh.
Our special ninja elf favorite one is apparently the Barbie strippers.
Yeah. There's several of those, but I mean, but yeah,
I'll have to.
I saw another good one with an elf sitting on the toilet with a candy cane coming out of the wall that said, "I'm not gay, but $20 is $20."
Okay, now I'm gonna have to go look at some of these.
Yeah, I feel bad for the parents though, because that's a lot of pressure. I mean, to like, I mean, for kids, it's so sweet because children are so innocent that it's like, the first thing they think of when they wake up is like, I have to go find it, and like, I'm sure every parent has probably at least once for like woken up and been like, oh shit, like we forgot to move it.
Yep.
Or the elf did not move.
You somehow managed to stay off the camera during that.
I never did it when my kids were little. I don't
Was it
know
a thing
why.
back then?
I don't.
I feel like
it wasn't
something that came about in like 15 years ago or 10 years ago.
I thought it was a little creepy.
Yeah, I don't know when they started, but I didn't start doing it until, I guess mine was 14. It had been around a few years before that, I know, but I mean, if I'm being honest, I just wanted to do it so I could have fun and laugh at her and her friends trying to find it in my house every day. And
yeah, I mean, it would be fun. Well, and whoever thought of it, it was kind of a genius thing too. I mean, I don't know how effective it is as far as making your children behave, but
right. It's a reminder.
We used to just get the well, Santa's watching on top of the Jesus is watching that we got all year.
Fair point. So is the elf on the shelf like the new Krampus? I mean, they're threatening. I said, would Elf on the Shelf be like the replacement for Krampus? Because originally it was the Krampus and Santa or Saint Nick worked together. Good kids got gifts, and the bad kids. I don't
think the outcome is quite as like alarming for children with the Elf on the Shelf.
They should make them with different faces. So like if your kid was bad one day, you could put out the angry elf.
Right.
2005 is the answer to that.
Oh, okay.
Her name was Carol Abersold, and her daughter Chandra Bell published a book called Elf on the Shelf: A Christmas Tradition, and along with it came a special box with a small scout elf inside, and that's where it started, at least commercially.
They have on is it Netflix? They have a cartoon that talks about where the elves came from and how it all works.
Yeah.
I was watching it and I'm like, whoa, I didn't realize there was so many darn rules.
Yeah. And I've seen the knockout, like there's a Snoop Elf on the Shelf.
Snoop on the Stoop.
Yeah. They should have serial killer ones. Like Ted Bundy on the.
We could market this.
I mean, maybe not for children.
Well, no.
For adults.
Jeffrey Dahmer's watching.
Aspen's gonna get us canceled.
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
Oh goodness.
So, did you watch Christmas movies today, both of you, or either of you?
I had them on, but I can't say that I could really focus. There was too much going on.
I did not today.
But
Will
don't
you
worry,
do it tomorrow?
100% all day. When I get off here, it'll probably start. If I'm being honest, like I'll watch all
Yeah.
the ones no one else in the house cares about.
What's your like? What's the one you like have to watch every year?
I can only pick one.
Well, like I mean, if you only had time to watch one, or what's the most personal one to you?
A Christmas Story, which is also funny because my mom hates that movie, and I'm definitely that person that it plays on replay all day long when we have our normal Christmas.
Did you watch the sequel?
I did. It made me sad.
I didn't watch it, so because everyone's told me not to.
This would technically be the third one, if you're talking about the new one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen all of them. But the newest one, it made me sad. But I think it's because like I'm sentimental to that movie.
Right.
But
Did it make you sad because it's not good, or did it make you sad because it's sad? Because I don't want to watch it if it's gonna ruin it for me.
It's because to me it felt very much the end of an era.
Oh, okay.
I think that's why for me.
Yeah, I have to be careful with sentimental right now, because everything's still kind of like transitioning different for me. Like, for the past 13 years, like I had every very set traditions, and then so like the littlest like sentimental thing could like set me off. I don't want that to happen. But
Yeah, I don't think.
Christmas Vacation, The Griswolds.
Yeah, see, I have to watch that every year. I have to watch Elf every year.
I like Home Alone too.
I don't have to watch Home Alone. Like I could. I don't know. It doesn't matter either.
I love it, but like especially I love that one song especially too from the first one when he's in the church with the bell. Like I love that Christmas song, but people keep saying that the Home Alone 2 is their favorite one to watch. And I think that's funny because I haven't watched that one in a long time.
I think Home Alone 2 is better than the first one.
You're like the fifth person that's told me that this year.
Yeah. I think it was funnier.
I don't think I've watched any of them enough to tell you that I like one over the others. All it's just the same movie to me.
Right.
It's by the end of the first one, I'm like, how do you forget a child when you had to have a plane ticket? I'm so analytical about it.
Well, more than that, I would like to know how the parents afforded to take 16 people to Hawaii.
That too. Yep.
I mean, what did his dad do? I saw someone was joking. They were like, yeah. Does no one ever talk about the fact that in the second one he's in a suite at the Plaza Hotel, and yeah, he's all nice to that homeless woman, but does he bring her a hot meal or offer to let her come stay in his suite at the Plaza Hotel? No. I was like, that is kind of funny. He just helps her feed the birds.
Right.
I did watch. Was it Disney came out with the little short series based on the Santa Claus with Tim Allen?
Oh yeah. I heard it was cute.
Oh.
I laughed a lot.
Yes, I like those too. And surprisingly, I like the second one better than the first one.
I think I never saw the second one. I saw the first one, but
the deers were real animated in the second one.
I think I was in that point in my life where I was like too cool to watch that kind of stuff when those came out,
Yeah.
But I watched Just Friends today. I'd never seen it before, and because I kept seeing it on these movie lists of like the best Christmas movies, and I was like the Ryan Reynolds movie. I can't remember who the girl is in it. And it was cute, but I mean, I don't know if I'd say it was like a Christmas movie or like my favorite, But people love that movie.
And then I drove everyone in my house crazy with A Nightmare Before Christmas since.
Right. That's another one that people debate whether that's actually a Christmas movie or not, but
it is both.
I think it's both. Right. I mean, yeah, when he's like, "What's this?" That's a great Christmas song.
Yeah.
So,
A very lovely friend got me the soundtrack on vinyl this year for Christmas.
ooh, I would like that. I would like that actually because I have because I'm a big vinyl collector.
I'm starting,
But
but I'm just starting mine.
yeah, it's fun. I mean, especially now, like if you buy a vinyl, like a lot of times, if you buy a new vinyl, a lot of times they'll come with like a digital download. So you also get like if you wanted it on your like phone or something as well, which is
That's
nice.
cool.
I like Edward Scissorhands too, and that's not really a Christmas movie, but
Well, we all know I like anything.
I know. It's just that scene at the end with the snow that it gets me every time. I'm like, so.
Yeah.
My favorite Christmas movie is The Family Stone, which a lot of people have never even seen, but I have to watch it every year. I'll watch it tonight while I wrap presents.
I've seen it.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen it either.
It's my favorite Christmas movie.
Absolutely not HCC. That's reaching.
So yeah, if you ever get a chance, watch The Family Stone, and if you don't like it, then I'll apologize. But it's my absolute favorite Christmas movie.
Well, see, I used to love watching all of the Hallmark premieres, but then someone outed me. So I've watched 0 Hallmark movies.
I've never watched any of those. Oh my! And then my mother watches them, and it's funny because she goes, "Oh, they have gays now in the Hallmark movies, and they're not just the friends." I was like, "Oh, okay, still not gonna watch them."
I can't watch them now, HCC. You ruined my reputation as the spooky girl.
So, but if you want to watch The Family Stone tomorrow, I think it's on Hulu.
Well, we'll probably watch a bunch of different movies tomorrow since it's not the normal Christmas. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. A Christmas Story is probably my favorite just because I get to torture my mom. She hates that movie, like absolutely hates it.
Really? I think I like it. I think I like anything that's got like a big dysfunctional family and it coming together for a holiday. Like I like any kind of those movies that are like where like madness ensues.
Yeah.
And that's what The Family Stone is.
I think HCC is trying to make me feel better about my past Hallmark obsession.
Do you want me to buy you the subscription to like Hallmark Plus for your birthday or for Christmas?
Well, I mean, I have all the Hallmark channels. And I have the Hallmark socks and the shirt and the mug. It's all about the Christmas movies. I just haven't ordered the blanket, and now there's no point because apparently I can no longer enjoy Hallmark movies. Which is funny because all of my friends that should like Hallmark movies hate all of them. And then I'm over here, the person that should not enjoy them.
You're like my mother. Nothing about my mother would make people think she likes Hallmark movies. She's like not huggy. She's not like that. Like she's not. She watches them all year. Someone I followed on TikTok last year, she like was in Vermont or something, or Connecticut, and her whole series was about like, she's like, okay, I just went to the local cafe and got like a hot coffee, and I got like my warm hat on. I'm gonna go find a gazebo in the middle of town to see if anyone approaches me. She like started going through all of like the stereotypical things you're supposed to do.
I want to go to Vail, Colorado, just because it's literally the perfect Christmas Hallmark town, and it's in some of the movies, and that's the only reason I know this place exists.
They filmed one in Charlotte last year. It was funny because I saw them filming it, and it was for Hallmark. But I watched them blowing the snow and everything, and I was like, this seems like this, whatever this is, has to not be good to be blowing through the air.
I don't know. I always said that if we ever did move south where there wasn't snow, I would be that person paying for fake snow to be put all over my property.
Right. I went to the Christmas party I went to last week. They had that. They did it. They had their whole yard done with fake snow. who knows how much that cost them, but it looked cool.
Vail, Colorado is expensive. I found
Yeah,
out when I
It's
pricing.
very expensive.
pretty
It's
though.
for the
They've put up
elite.
with their Christmas. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, but you could go. You could go for a weekend and be fine. Like
Yeah.
you know, because it's not big. Either. It's not huge either. Like I like Aspen, and I've heard like
I mean,
Breckenridge.
I don't want to go ski or anything.
no, I
I want to
know. Why
around
wouldn't
holiday shops with my little holiday hot cocoa and sit in the lodge by the obnoxious fire.
there are
And
probably other places in Colorado you'd like better than
there's a holiday festival though. Like
because
I want.
Vail's a little bougie now with like it's like Louis Vuitton and all those stores like kind of have taken over.
Yeah, sugar pie. We actually just had a big snowstorm. We didn't get like a ton of snow, but we got enough for a very white Christmas.
I want to go to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Like I think it looks like an ideal Christmas town.
There's actually cool places in Wyoming.
Oh, Jackson Hole I think it was amazing.
The only thing I know about Wyoming is my elementary school friends' parents they used to go out there every year to hunt coyotes. It's literally
Yeah,
like
no.
Wyoming.
Yeah, I've driven through Wyoming, but not the parts that like where not like where Jackson Hole is. Like I drove through like beef country or cattle country.
Mm.
I just spent the night in Laramie, Wyoming once. That was fun. But
I haven't been to Wyoming.
I only did it because I was driving through the country. I was driving from California.
I've been to, well, when we lived in Colorado, we used to drive up to Breckenridge, Vail. My friends would go skiing. I would get a book and sit by the fireplace. They all thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
But
That's what
I
I
was
do.
the only one who could move the next day.
I just sit in the lodge and drink while my friends ski.
Well, and because of the you're up so high, you get drunk a lot faster there. A lot.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And people don't realize it, and so they drink way more. The altitude. That's
What
it.
did they say? It's like 2 drinks. Every one drink is 2 drinks, really.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yep, because your blood's thinner up there, and so it just goes right through you. I didn't believe it until I did it, and I did it once, and that was it. But Vail is nice. It's just really uppity up.
Right. And I think I feel like I've not been, but I've been told it's just gotten more and more that way to the point where it's kind of like the charm's kind of been taken over by like all the rich people.
Don't run it for me. See now.
That's where the stars go, though.
Right. But I think you can find like
You're a
I
star
like that other
you
places.
can go.
Well, unless Johnny's there, stars don't really matter to me.
Johnny wouldn't be there anymore. Johnny wouldn't go there. He'd be in Jackson Hole.
Probably. But
Probably.
so the weekend that they're having like some, I don't know, doing their tree lighting and festival and little vendor people. That's what I want. I want that Hallmark movie in real life.
There's a Christmas town somewhere in Georgia. I think it's like Helen, Georgia. That's like right near the mountains, and their whole downtown looks like a little German Christmas village.
I mean, we have Santa Claus, Indiana here.
Yeah, I've been to Santa Claus Land or whatever it's called, wherever it's called now. Holiday. Oh yeah.
They have the North Pole in Colorado somewhere because we took our kids when they were little, and it's up in the mountains.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Everyone here takes their kids to the Polar Express.
Okay, yeah. That was a friend of mine recorded the Polar Express was in my hometown. The real train.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought that was so cool. It was so lit up. It looked really neat.
I think it did a tour of a whole long section of railroad.
Did it?
I didn't know it was a real train. Like, I mean, like I know the thing that they people take their kids on now is a real train that they do the Polar Express and they take them to the North Pole. But I didn't know like the original was like a real train. I just thought it was like a book and movie.
I just saw the movie that this past week. I never watched it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. It's like, is it like kind of animated?
It is.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I actually didn't think. I thought it was pretty cool once I watched it.
That's
Yeah.
the
It wasn't bad.
favorite movie.
What did you say, Amy?
I said Polar Express is the future son-in-law's favorite holiday movie.
Is it? Well, I mean, it's Tom Hanks, right? And whoever the director, I mean, whoever directed it was like incredible as well. So I'm sure it's good.
It was very different than I thought it would be, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, kids, I'm going to bed.
Well, have a good night, and thanks for still.
Have a good night. Good
Merry-
seeing you both.
It was good to see you.
night,
Merry
chat.
Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas to you guys.
So, Aspen.
I'm not gonna be able to hang out too long, but
That was fine. Most of, I'm honestly surprised there's been as many people even in the chat as there has been tonight.
this is the first time I haven't even looked at YouTube today, so I don't know if other people had done lives. I don't know what was going on. So
I was getting a ton of notifications from different people going live, which
really,
I guess shouldn't have surprised me, but
you never know. Like I'm always amazed with like when like I'll like think someone will go live and I'll be like, oh, that's a weird time, and then like they'll have tons of people in their live. So I'm like, you never know.
yeah, my last late night when I think I went live at like 2:30 in the morning or something.
Yeah,
And we
people
had
love those.
I may have to retire from them. They're gonna get me in trouble.
Well, the few times I've done one like an impromptu one like that, I'm amazed at the amount of people that come in, and I'm like, I guess there's that many people that are up, like just But yeah, I tend to get in trouble when I've done them too.
I think it's just because there's been so much happening in YouTube lately that they're getting me in more trouble than they used to. But I'm about to take some time off to work on other things for a few months. So
yeah, I just ignore all drama now, or
Yeah.
I mean, I try to.
I'm canceling it all at the beginning of the year. Those
No, you're
people
not.
no longer exist.
Well, you're not. But you're not canceling YouTube.
No, just those people.
All right. Yeah. I find like the best way for me to do that kind of stuff is I can't look at any I try to make it clear that I don't want people to send me certain things, and then I refuse to like even look at certain people's things because I feel like then if I don't know, it can't bother me.
Yeah.
But I don't want anyone going after my friends, though. That bothers me more than anything. I can handle it if someone comes after me, but
Right. Same thing. It doesn't bother me when they say anything about me. It's when they say stuff about my friends.
right.
But
But sometimes people know that about you, and so they'll bait you to do. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
and then
you're into it.
I've decided that they just are no longer going to exist on the
Right.
first.
And then there are also people that love, like, to be able to be the messenger in that. Like, oh, guess what someone said about you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get a lot of things sent, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't care.
Right. Yeah. If it's genuine, I appreciate people letting me know something, but I know there are people that are like, oh,
Yeah. It was just ridiculous. The whole thing.
Right. people get bored, and I've noticed that those kind of things spring up every couple of months in YouTube, or like in different groups. Like like you're that situation like the the people you're talking about. Like I don't know a lot of them, and so I mean like there's different like kind of like drama groups in YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the
They
day,
take turns.
I mean, you're not missing anything
No,
by not knowing who they are. So
well, I mean, I know who some of them are. I just don't. it's like there are different circles of YouTube, you know?
Yeah. Some of them are more annoying than others, but you'll have that.
Right. Well, and then you always have the people that are, and then I feel like this is a lot of times where the drama like will originate from is the people that aren't really a part of any true crime community. They're just like the commentators or the like, you know, they don't really provide content or even talk about anything. They just, that's their whole thing is they want to like show videos and do drama.
Yeah.
Almost, I think they all want to be shock jocks.
Yeah. Well, the ones that get me the most are the ones that only cover drama, but then try and say they're a true crime channel. Like in
Right.
what?
Yeah.
You know, whatever makes them sleep better at night, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't sleep at night, so I sleep just fine during the day.
Yeah. Yeah. If someone creates a lot of drama like that, I usually sit back and like ask myself, I'm like, what like single like work or like lead has this person ever provided toward the case that they talk about? And more times than not, I can't think of anything at all, especially one creator in particular. Like I can't think of one single beneficial thing they've ever done for the case they talk about.
Yeah, there's a strange amount of channels like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, they don't phase my life, so
No, that's their thing. Do it.
my house is so quiet.
It sounds quiet.
Thinking about watching Krampus tonight, but I don't know.
I like Krampus.
How did we both get into YouTube? So I was asked to be on a podcast that no longer exists. And then when I left, there was asked to start my own channel because people wanted to hear my on stuff. And Aspen can tell his story.
How long ago? Oh, sorry. How long have you been on here?
Almost 2 years.
Right. Yeah, I never was a YouTube person at all. Like, I actually like never even really watched YouTube videos very often. I've done true crime for a long time, but I listened to podcasts, and like watched documentaries, and it was the Anthony Shots information that came out in the Delphi case last year in December, because I'd followed the case, and I couldn't find anything on it other than like the one little like news article when they released the information. And I kept waiting for like the Down the Hill podcast to like come out with a new episode, and like they didn't. And so it was like middle of December of last year. I like was Googling Delphi just to see like if there was new information, and then someone was like, "Oh, you should look at YouTube." And I like literally went into YouTube and I typed in Delphi, and it's a crime shame. It was the first thing that popped up, and so I started watching Sunny. And then I watched a few other people as well, and then I just started chatting in the chat thing, which I didn't even know you could do that or how to do it. I had to figure all that out. And then I called in one time, and then it just kind of went from that. So and that was January of 2022. So it's weird to think it's not even been a year. And then I do have my own channel, and then I'm on another channel as well. So
You can drop those too if you want. I don't know if you are capable at the moment, or if one of my mods wants to drop. Yeah, I mean, I had the whole reason I got asked to be on that podcast was because I had asked them to look at a case and then offered to do research behind the scenes. But it is what it is.
I didn't even think to ask how you got involved with that channel.
Yep, that would be how.
So this is my channel that I just dropped, and I'm just now really starting to put out content on my own channel. And I didn't have my own channel I've had it for a long time, but I never did anything with it. and I'm still gonna be on the other channel. But I do want to put out some stuff for myself as well. But being a YouTuber was never something it was never something I wanted to be or like thought of. Like I was never in my my wheelhouse.
I mean, like I watched, like I've always been into true crime, and then I watched like most beauty launches, like different makeup launches and reviews and all that stuff. And then started expanding like other things that I watched on there. And I was fully content just doing like a few makeup looks on Instagram and like posting new makeup when I would get it in and stuff like that, or just like vacation pictures and lifestyle. And then I started my decor Instagram, and I was fine with that, but apparently that's not where I was supposed to be going. So
Yeah, this is also new. Like because I didn't even like I've never really done much with like Instagram to any of those things. Like I like kind of avoid social media, and now I feel like I'm on it all the time. But um, I mean, because then you start to get to know people. Like I met Amy because Amy came in the chat that on the It's a Crime and Shame channel one night, and you would like be like, oh hey Aspen, you should message me. And I think it took me what, like 2 months or a month to like actually.
a while.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to, and then then I never did.
Well, and I ended up having to like message you in chat and was like, oh, by the way, I emailed you.
Yeah.
And then we've pretty much talked ever since.
Yeah, and through you I met like Mel and but yeah, which I'm so grateful because I think that core of people has probably been the thing that I've enjoyed the most about being on YouTube, other than like the work we are able to do.
Yeah. I have a great circle of friends from YouTube.
Right. I could have like fallen into a different circle real easy. So thank you.
And I'm also actually spend time with them in real life too, so I just got all the bonuses with it.
Right.
Is that a line? Yes, it is.
Oh, thank you, Erica. Oh, thank you, Sugar Pie. Yeah, Chaotic's awesome. And like when I started watching some of your videos, like because I love I like your horror like stuff too, but I always like the one thing I really appreciated, like really respected about you and Mel, especially when I first like started looking at your channels, was that you didn't go, that you would make me aware of cases that I wasn't aware of, and like that's not something you get a lot of on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a lot of repetitive stuff.
Right. And it's hard sometimes, like I know, like I feel like weird because I'm so invested in this Idaho case now, and I'm like, but I feel like it's cliche because I'm like, it's everyone's talking about it. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I can't help that it's fascinating to me. But I do really respect like channels that like go and do deep dives on cases that deserve to be highlighted. Because the thing that is a lot of work no matter what. But then if it doesn't have a big name in the title, people aren't, a lot of people don't watch. So it's like, then you're, so I appreciate like that dedication and like that work that people put in, so that even if maybe 20 people watch that, they'll get something positively could happen.
It's frustrating at times when you're talking about a story that's not getting a lot of media attention and stuff, that people aren't paying attention. But I just have to remind myself when I am working on those cases and videos that 20 more people is better than none.
Right. I try to go into everything. Like I've not done a lot on I've not done a lot of because I've done mostly Delphi, which when I came on YouTube I didn't even know if that was a big case or not. But like I try to do everything I do with like my intention would never be to be like, oh, I'm going to do this because I'll get viewers from it. And I feel like, if you go into anything with that mindset, then I don't feel like there's substance in it,
Right. And so that was
we could all make a video. We could all go on Reddit, read one post, and then turn it into a YouTube video and get 10,000 views on it. Yeah. But if it's not substance or does no good, what's the point?
I mean, my thing was always not rush just to put content out. was never about the numbers because I'd never actually
Yeah.
expected to go anywhere. And I'm gonna stay true to that.
Yeah.
But let's see. Even after a day of work, how do you guys find the energy to? So I'm spoiled, and I'm a stay-at-home mom/wife, and I don't sleep very much, anyways. But I've got it, a little bit easier. And also, I'm not real strict. Like, you guys go live a lot. I've never been like, I have to put out a video, like,
Right.
once and not do anything.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we do Sunday nights, Wednesday nights, and Friday nights. And I mean, but the lives in, like, we'll be pretty, like, forthright. Like, if we're like, there's a night when we're just kind of winging it, because I'm like, there's nights that we just kind of talk and hang out and we go over theories and stuff, but we make it clear that's what we're doing. So it's not like we're like creating content or finding content just to do it,
Yeah.
And then we'll go live occasionally, like if there's something that, like, I feel like when I want to do something on, and there's been nights I'll just do a live in the middle of the night where I'm bored or something. But now, I mean, I spend a lot of time looking at stuff. I try not to spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos. So
because I live on such strange hours.
Right. We all do. You have to go on YouTube.
A lot of us do, yeah. So I have a weird window of time that I guess is like midday for most people, probably, where I check all of my socials, all of my emails, whatever. And then I do whatever needs to be done around the house. And usually I'm like listening to content while I do all that stuff. And then if I am working on something, I'll do that for hours.
Right.
I'll listen to other people's content, like, as I'm laying down at some odd hour in the morning to go to sleep. But
Right. And then, like, there'll be days that I'll get sucked into looking into something, or researching something, and I will ignore the world. Like, I won't open Messenger. I won't look at any, and then the next thing I know, I'm like, oh, 8 hours went by. And, like, I have notebooks full of, things that, like, I've never done anything with, but I'm just like, it's just research that, like, for different things.
right.
But I'm like, that I'm like, I know I have somewhere if I ever want to do something with it.
And just to be clear, like, yes, being a mom is a full-time job, but like,
Absolutely.
mine is grown now. She got engaged, I guess technically last night, but like, that's just been my journey for the past almost 11 years.
Right.
So,
And you're a good one too.
jobs in there, like,
From what I know.
Here and there, but like, ultimately, me having a job because of my hours just didn't work for like the family in whole, because
Yeah. Right. And I own my own business, and so, I mean, like, I can kind of make my own hours, and being like in it being a salon, like, my hours have never been like super traditional anyway, so, I mean, because there'll be days, even if I don't look at true crime, like, that I don't look at social media or open Messenger until like 8 or 9 at night, but I can kind of control when I work now more so than I used to be able to. And I have a feeling that's going to become more and more the more I'm into true crime, or the more I'm on YouTube. But
yeah, I mean, I've tried to, like, I guess, do normal people hours.
yeah,
But my body always just shifts back. So, and it's been this way back when I was even like preteen. I remember like struggling to sleep at night. So
yeah, and don't get me wrong, there are days that they'll be, I'll get to a point though where, there's times where I'm like, okay, I'm done, and like I shut the world out, and I lay in bed and watch Bravo or like Real House, something brainless, and put no work into anything for like a day.
Oh, I definitely have those days where I'll just lay around and binge watch like a Netflix series or something.
Yeah.
But like, you can't, I don't know. I think with especially us talking about crime all the time, we can't just let that consume like our entire lives. Like, we have to find humor and other things of enjoyment to kind of like take away some of the head of what we talk about.
Right. and I found like, like the more I've gotten involved with like YouTube and the true crime community,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many like aspects of it come at you that aren't even about like, so I mean, like when I first came into it was like researching cases and doing that stuff, and like, but now I mean the majority of it is really like people like reaching out to me and like email and then responding to people's messages, and like and then you get a lot of stuff from other creators, so there's just so much there. Then you're like, that can be a little consuming as well.
Right.
And some people require a little bit more energy than others.
Yeah.
So trying to balance that can be difficult sometimes too, like
Yeah.
who you will let in and who you don't.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I'm glad that I've done it the way I've done it, because I think I've gave myself enough time between like certain things, especially with the two main cases that I talk about, that it never like, I guess, like took a toll on me fully, because I would space stuff out with it. Like I would research day and night for a couple weeks straight, and then I would just take a few days and not even go anywhere near the office. But you got to figure out how it works for you, I think.
Yeah.
Some people can talk about it every night for a couple hours and then go to work the next day like they didn't. But
Yeah.
true crime before Delphi.
And I can compartmentalize things pretty easily. Like I like, in fact, most of my clients and like I don't talk about true crime, or like most of my clients don't even know I'm on YouTube. Like I just, it's just not, I'm able to keep those things kind of separate. But
Yeah. I know a lot of people, some I'm closer to, but like even like some of their close friends and family don't know that they're on.
It actually took a long time before I told anyone in my family I was on YouTube. Like 6 months probably.
Let's see. I've never been into true crime before Delphi. I started having nightmares about it and dreams about it all the time. Do you guys have about these? Well, I don't normally dream at all, so no, not to my knowledge. But I don't think I ever sleep enough to have a deep dream to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say I have nightmares about it. I have had a couple of dreams about about like killers, but it's not been like it's not like I'm like scared of it or anything. Like, in fact, like I think one of the most relaxing things to do before I go to bed is like put on a true crime documentary on bed, like, or a podcast, and fall asleep to it. And I was joking with a friend, and I was like, nothing makes me fall asleep faster than someone being like, and he put her heart into the into the refrigerator.
All right. Yeah, I mean, when I say I don't sleep much, like most nights it's 4 hours, or days. It's
Yeah.
4 hours. And then after a few weeks of that, I'll have a 6 hour sleep, and then it just starts over. So
6 hours. That's good for me. I'm probably 5 hours usually, 5 or 6 hours a night.
yeah, like if I sleep, like if I'm really really exhausted and just everything is finally like wore me down, and I sleep 8 hours, I'm worthless. I feel like I have all like can't focus, nothing. Like
Right.
me or is the worst thing I could ever do.
I will say like there's probably like once every like month, 2 months that I like will have a night that like I'll fall asleep and I will sleep for like 12 hours, and like but I do, and I feel like worthless the next day.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly your body just needs it at some point. But I know one thing that I've always been interested in true crime, but like I was in a long relationship for a long time, pretty much, and being single now, like I haven't started dating anyone. I haven't started dating at all, but like the prospect of dating someone, I'm like way more hesitant about just knowing so much about true crime now. I'm like, oh, you can't trust anyone. Plus, I'm like, oh, people are gonna be like, oh, he's into true crime. And I dread the fact if I ever go on a date and I have to like oh, I have a YouTube channel. Because I feel like it's gonna set like a tone to the whole like, you know, their impression of me.
I was already like married and the whole thing before.
Yes. That's why I'm like, so I'm like, that's like gonna be weird. That would be weird.
So I just watched a larger channel that's not from our community at all. But she did a video and she was talking about she had went on a date and the guy asked what she did and she told him that she was a YouTube creator. And he was like, oh, so basically you're broke and don't have a job. Like that was his response to her. And she's making like good money.
Right.
And has been for quite a while. And you know what I mean? Like she bought her own house. She's having the whole thing like gutted and redone. Like the whole thing. But that was his response without knowing anything about her other than that. And I was like, is that how people actually like respond to that conversation? Like, is that a normal response?
Right. I don't know. Well, I mean, because it is funny. Cause I mean, you know, some people when you talk, you know, when some people look at YouTube, they're like, you know, they'll be like, oh, that's a YouTube creator, and they'll be like, oh, it's because they have like 1 million followers, and then you're like, you know, you could be a YouTube creator and have like, you know, 1,000 followers, you know,
Right.
So
I mean,
and then you can be. I'm sure there's a ton of YouTubers that have like 2 followers, you know, but I don't do it for the followers, you know. I mean, would it be incredible to be able to do it full time and like really like devote like, you know, a career to it? Yeah, that'd be awesome. But
I mean,
I would never sacrifice the integrity for that.
To do YouTube, like that would be a catch-22 for me because I would never, as far as like my crime channel goes, I would never want to be under the pressure that people would expect at that point.
Yeah.
Of having a schedule to post and like even when I started and I was kind of doing something on a regular basis, the first like week I missed, I was getting emails about it and messages.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even imagine.
Oh, if we miss one show, well, like
second, like that would be fun.
Yeah.
To do.
I've kind of toyed around with that too, because I'm like, you know, like I almost like think it's more of should be more of like a personality thing where you just like kind of like do all your stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to have multiple channels, so
I just couldn't figure out a way to make my second channel stuff work. I mean, I guess both channels in one way or another are spooky, but it just didn't seem like I was already crossing lines doing the late night chat, in my opinion. Right. Yeah. So a whole nother aspect of it just seemed a little much. So that's why I just want to have the second one.
That's what when I like because I was going through I was trying to think of different names and stuff like when I do my channel and everything, and that's why I just went with my name because I was like, you know what, I was like I don't want to be like true crime with this or true crime, you know, like so I was like, if I just use my name, then I feel like I can, because I do feel like I feel like I talk about true crime and I think I'm good at investigating it and pretty level headed about it, but I do like the personality aspect of it as well. Like being able to like talk to people and like have conversations and
yeah. I mean, I think for me, like the one case was local, but then the other one was personal. I think it kind of, in a way, run doing like active cases for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like this series so much more.
Right.
Like the series to me is fun, like researching that and like writing out the scripts and all of that. Like that's me.
Oh, hey, CD.
But I don't know that I could ever just like cover a case like I did the other two, and I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you and I were talking about like cases have to like kind of. I have to like a case has to like connect with me, like, you know, there's something about it has to like hit a nerve with me for me really to like feel passionate about it. Of course I care about anyone that I'm told about or any case, and you know, but there's some cases that, you know, they just strike a chord more than others,
Yeah.
and you can never explain why. I know with Delphi, it wasn't even actually Abby and Libby. It was the first time I heard I listened to Down the Hill, and the first time I heard Becky Patty talk, and I heard that woman's voice and like the pain and everything that woman was going through, it just came through my phone. Like I could just hear it, and that's actually what made me invested in that case.
See, Delphi for me was because my kid was close to their age.
Yeah, I can understand that.
That's what originally got me in the beginning, and then there's been like a couple other ones that have really caught my attention, but they're always cases that every other channel jumps on. So I'm just like, yeah, I'll just do my research and keep up with it behind the scenes. Like I just don't see the point in
Right.
lots of channels covering the same thing. So
no, I agree. And like I didn't like even with the Idaho thing. Like I was in Portugal when that happened, and I caught like I immediately was kind of like invested in it. But I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to cover this at all. But so I'm like, do I think I'm going to solve Idaho? No, but I mean, like, but I do, but I'm really passionate about it. So I figure why I should talk about it.
But the case like really sticks out to me, and like I find a personal aspect of it, then I like follow it hardcore. I just don't see, and especially like I'm still a small channel, so what would me covering it matter when there's hundreds of other channels? Like,
I mean, even on, I mean, the Crime and Shame is a small channel, but I mean, even when we've done the Idaho shows on there, like we don't get as many viewers because we're not a big channel doing Idaho. But it's not going to stop me from talking about it the same way it wouldn't stop me from talking about like a Maya Robertson or someone any other case that I think is interesting.
I think for me, it's like I have that, like I've got my group of friends from YouTube and crime people that I talk about cases with all the time. So like, I guess I could go live and we could just all have a discussion, but like,
right. Yeah, well, maybe if I was in your Zoom group, then I would, I'm playing.
I don't know what Zoom group you're talking about. That doesn't exist.
I was kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that one day there would be another case that really like gets me, but again, after the personal, that's the line I wouldn't recommend anyone doing.
Yeah. And like, there's definitely cases that I have that I would love to cover. Like it's I haven't had the I just haven't had the time or energy to do it yet.
I mean, eventually run out of things for the series,
right?
But until then, that's probably going to be like my biggest thing, other than if there's updates with those other two cases.
Yeah, I've been like even the that case is really interesting to me, and then the one that Mel was talking about with the I-70 killer that killed gay men too. Like, I'd like to learn more about that case because I don't know anything about it. But then someone was like, you need to look at cases outside of Indiana. You don't live there. I already get all of the alerts on the news for Indiana.
Or maybe you should relocate here.
No. I moved away from there.
Well, you clearly miss it.
And it's almost like, you could like do crimes like in other states. I was like, well, yeah, and it's already weird that my name is Aspen, so that's confusing to some people anyway, I'm sure. They're like, you cover like crimes in Colorado?
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of like crimes and mysteries and history where you are at that you could cover, though.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot. I mean,
then you can just sprinkle in Indiana here and there.
I'm sure I just hear about the ones in Indiana because I know so many people. Like I'm kind of in that.
Right. You do talk to a lot of us in this area.
Yeah.
That probably doesn't help.
Well, and geographically, it's not much. It's pretty similar to where I grew up in Illinois. So I think it's one reason I feel like kind of easily connected to it. It's like even when some people like make fun of like some of the like rural Indiana stuff, like I'm like it's no different than where I grew up in Southern Illinois. I'm like I get those kind of people. I have them in my family.
Yeah. I don't think, I mean, I have family everywhere at this point.
Yeah.
But even my family, like if they call me about a case to ask me a question, it's usually like local. And I'm like, I'm not doing any more local cases.
No, I get that.
So I don't know what I'll do if I actually go back to just covering cases instead of the
Right.
series, because I don't want anything local.
Right. One of the videos I'm going to put together this week is I've been talking about it for like a week now, but I haven't actually put out a video yet on the little girl that's missing in Cornelius, North Carolina, which is here in Charlotte. I mean, 'cause I drive by her neighborhood all the time, and so I would like to highlight the case, even though people are starting to do it more on YouTube. I've noticed a couple other creators are starting to do stuff, but
Yeah.
living here and knowing the neighborhood and knowing people that live in that neighborhood, like I feel like I probably should definitely cover it, and so I'm going to put a video out on it. I'm going to do that this week because that little girl needs to be found too.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I don't have high hopes for what the outcome of it will be, probably, but just realistically.
Right.
But you know, I hope.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say and what you think and stuff, but I heard something about like some connection with Michigan or something. I don't know.
Well, the stepdad, I think that's part of it. That there's not been a lot that's come out officially, but that apparently the mom and stepdad got in a fight and like he went to Michigan, and then that's one of the reasons she didn't want to report her missing because she thought he'd be mad and he was in Michigan. So then I'm like, I haven't seen the proof that he went to Michigan, but I'm like, if he did, then I'm like, is she in Michigan? Like, you know, I'm like, where, you know, it's still very like dodgy, and then you know because they were both arrested for you know the neglect or whatever, not a lot's coming out from them. So and clearly they didn't have a huge social circle family wise because no one noticed this little girl was gone for a month.
What if this case also brings you to Indiana?
No. Well, then I'm afraid then people are going to start tying me to things.
I mean, nothing at this point on YouTube.
Right.
Never.
You know, I mean, you know, my family did. My family's homestead is Connor Prairie.
I need to go there again. I haven't been in years.
And when they built the bridge, when you know they built the Freedom Bridge, it wasn't for Delphi. It was for the Connor Prairie, and they built it the wrong size. And the family they donated. I don't have nothing to do with that. I have the family anymore, but the family donated the bridge to Indiana, and that's why they built the Freedom Bridge in Delphi. I didn't learn that until I was on YouTube, like covering this, and someone told me to look up the history of the Freedom Bridge, and I was like, oh. You're welcome. Hey, Never Silent.
Oh, I completely missed. I mean, you can post it. If the mods think it's too inappropriate, they'll just remove it. Completely missed his comment about a joke.
I just saw it at the same time. Anything I ever say joking about Indiana, I say in nothing but love, because you know, like I said, those are like that's where I grew up, like the same area I grew up. It's the same people that are in my family, so I'm not really making fun of it. I'm just pointing out things that are funny sometimes. But every area's got things like that, you know. Look at the Dylan Rounds case. I mean, the things people can say about the people out
I haven't
there.
been on that in a while.
I haven't either, sadly.
I'm reading the comments and just not responding to them at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have
Y2K is so. Y2K. I don't think that's off-putting. I think it's funny.
I'm gonna be but wasn't there drama on the you're on with things being said too?
Wait, you were breaking up.
Didn't somebody get upset on the other channel because people were saying things about Indiana?
I know some people get. I mean, some people get sensitive about it. Well, some people go on too much about it, and then other people start going on about Indiana, and it does get a bad rap. But you know, we're also talking about true crime, so the people we're talking about really sometimes too. You know.
I mean, but to be fair, I call Colorado Colorado.
Right, and except North Carolina is just the same way. Illinois was the same way. You know, look, every state in the country is. Like I was just saying to Cremzilla about don't they teach you how to wrestle alligators in school?
Right.
But I have a pretty light sense of humor when it comes to making fun of things. So, But I do get where people can, if you love the place you live in, people are making fun of it. I get it. It can be offensive sometimes, but
he gave us a cheesy joke for.
I liked it though.
To make for it.
And you could insert any state into that and it'd still be funny. I mean, look at the Summer Wells case.
Yeah, that one. I don't know that we'll ever get answers on that one.
I've never dug into it whatsoever because it's one of those, because I feel like it's one of those cases that I'm like, the drama surrounding it. Like, I feel like you'd have to get through all of that before you even before you even learned anything.
Yeah.
So it keeps me away from even looking at it.
It's just so, like, trying to get the little tidbits of info between all the drama.
Yeah.
It's not worth the effort.
Yeah.
I'll go read some newspaper articles.
Yeah. And so there are certain cases that happens, and some people would say that about Delphi, but I think the Summer Wells thing intimidates me because there's so much drama around it that I'm like, I don't even know where to begin with, like what would be the truth and not. So
yeah, it's a messy side of the true crime over there.
Yeah, I do wish there are a couple cases that have gotten a lot of coverage that I feel like probably could be solved. Like the Missy Beavers case. I feel like there's a missing case out of Florida that I followed for a long time. A girl named Jennifer Cassie. Like I feel like that case can be solved. I'm not sure why it hasn't been. I think Suzanne Morphew's case can be solved. I think it's going to take them finding her body, but I don't know. I mean, every case can be solved, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. See, this is why I need to retire late night chats.
Why?
We now have 2 names that have been dropped in the chat that will fully get me in trouble. To get me on a roll, and then we go down a whole drama path, and
I saw one of the names. I didn't see the other one.
Well, the AG one was dropped earlier.
Oh, okay, yeah. But we didn't say anything bad about either of those people.
No, well, on this live.
That's what. Well, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm referring to.
Yes, because I am grown and I'm turning a new leaf, and I'm ignoring these people. They don't. That's what I'm going to keep telling myself. I'm gonna start. People put their initials. I'm just gonna be like, "Who's that?" It's gonna be my new response. Like, I don't know this person. Never heard of them.
And you do it long enough, you forget they like I was talking to you about some. I was like, oh, I forgot that person existed.
That's another one that needs to be forgotten. I'm gonna get all kinds of Christmas movies in.
Right, yeah. Oh, hey, Lisa.
You still have to wrap gifts after this, don't you?
Yeah, I have to go. I have to go soon. I didn't realize it was 1:30, but I could, I could sit on here all night, but I do need to wrap gifts.
All right. Well, I mean, we can wrap it up.
And that way we don't get in trouble. If we, the longer we go, the naughtier we would probably get, and like start talking about things we shouldn't talk about, especially on Christmas.
Well, and there's definitely people in here watching that aren't chatting. So.
Right. We should figure out how to simulcast sometime, and then I can do it for my channel and yours. I've never done that, but or you like I don't. Have you and Mel done it?
What?
Or is it the simulcast thing where you like are on each of the channels?
Me and Mel.
Is it just too much going on at once?
No, I mean it's just like because StreamYard combines both comments.
Oh, okay.
So it would be just the same. I hope you get feeling better, never silent.
Yeah. Yeah, his daughter was Rainbow Wolf Pup was in our chat last night, I think, for a little bit.
Hey again, Gator.
Stone Gator, that's a good name. Oh, hey, David Gray. Sorry, I go in sporadic look. Sometimes I'll look at like chat and then I don't look at it again. I'm used to it being on the screen, to be honest, and so I forget to look at my phone sometimes.
Messy Bun Mafia. A fun name.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, and I like the way they did the E.
Making me work to type their name out here. What does everybody think I should watch tonight?
The Family Stone.
Yeah, I don't know why they're watching anyways. I'm too good to talk about their nonsense, so. It's holidays, Christmas.
I hope that everyone, even the people that like want to start drama or whatever, I hope they all have a wonderful Christmas. Even if they're I was gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna. So even if they're getting 3 meals tomorrow and 2 of them are the same.
I mean, everybody needs to eat. Everybody needs some love.
Right. Everyone needs it. Yes. Everyone needs cold piece of pumpkin pie.
Everyone
dessert.
Some Santa in their life, even if they're only receiving coal. It is the thought that counts.
Right. Maybe and if some people are lucky, they'll get a chirp or 2. But I couldn't help myself. I couldn't.
I mean, I don't know who we're talking about. But
no, I want everyone to have a Merry Christmas tomorrow.
Okay. So what Christmas movie does everybody think I should watch when I end this? There's so many choices.
I'm thinking Krampus.
I'm like torn about it. Should I watch it tonight or should I watch it tomorrow night? After all of the... Or I could wait a week after the family.
That's true.
I could use it to transition back to my dark decor.
Yeah, like this is the point. Like I'll probably watch like my favorite ones because like it'll like get me in like that like family nostalgic mood. Like so like while I'm wrapping, and then I can be like ready for Christmas in the morning.
What's wrong, Gator?
Uh-oh.
It's gonna take forever for 6 o'clock to come, isn't it?
Hopefully. My problem is I'll look up and I'll be like, oh nope, it's there. because I do all the. I haven't even looked through my box of ribbon yet. I have like a huge container that's nothing but ribbon.
I love ribbon.
Yeah, there are times I've spent more on wrapping paper and ribbon than I probably have some gifts.
I'm sure I've probably done the same. And I'm like notorious for just buying ribbon if I see it because I'm like,
Oh yeah,
and I can't just buy one roll if I like it. I have to buy as many as they have left.
yeah, and I don't, and I like good ribbon. So
Yeah, my weaknesses are white velvet, black velvet, anything with glitter.
oh yeah. Oh
Any
yeah, I mean, if you open a present of mine and it leaves you covered in glitter because of the ribbon, like I don't apologize at all.
This is the first year that I did not put handmade ribbon and bows on any gifts.
Really, I usually do Christmas ornaments on the in the ribbon sometimes too. Like I'll tie them on and do so it's kind of part of the present, but not this year. I'm doing ribbon though. But all the peacock feathers I bought are not going to go with the or all the are not going to go with the paper that I was going to use because it didn't come. So.
Peacock feathers.
I had a whole like safari like peacock like theme that I was doing, and I can't use any of the feathers and stuff I bought now. But I'll use them for something else.
And then I've got red velvet on the tree in there that nobody can see. The big. I don't know if I can see if I can turn this and get it on.
Mm. Yeah, beautiful. Like I don't always do traditional Christmas. Like I'll do like last year I did resort wear was my theme. So I did everything with like palm trees and but I still made it Christmassy.
Very nice.
But this year's more traditional, I guess, since that's what I have the paper for.
Well, this year, like our main one was Nightmare Before Christmas, and I found it in multiple different colors and prints, so great.
Yeah.
And then the future son-in-law wrapped the kids in holiday puppies wearing Santa hats.
Oh.
And then the kid wrapped everybody's in A Christmas Story is my paper. Elf the movie is Mr. Chaotic's paper. Black Panther for future and son-in-laws. And then I want to say there's a different dog print Christmassy paper that she used for like the other family.
Nice.
And then somewhere there's Grinch paper, but I think a lot of that got used for the party. It's like it was looking very like just black and white stripes and Nightmare Before Christmas until
I've done black and white a lot of years.
I love black and white, especially if I could like a black and white stripe and then some black and white snowflakes of different, and then like just white with like Merry Christmas in black or something.
Yeah. One year I just did white craft paper and black craft paper or butcher paper, and and then did like neon ribbon for everything. That was really cool. But
I think next year I'm going to do all solid black and solid white paper and then do the opposite velvet ribbons.
Right. Yeah. If anyone ever wants a good, like, you can buy craft paper and rolls like, or butcher paper, like for so cheap, and it's the best wrapping paper. So if anyone wants like a trick, like you can do that for next year, because you can buy like a roll, like a 50-foot long roll of black craft paper.
Yeah. Do you know what they want for black wrapping paper?
Yeah. But if you buy craft paper, it's so much cheaper, or butcher's paper. The only problem with the white is sometimes you have to double it because you can see through it a little bit. But then you can but then it's actually sturdy enough paper that it's good. Like, it's not going to tear.
Yeah. That's the other thing. It's like I got into like the super thick wrapping papers, which is great because it's usually a bigger roll for the price. But then like I was going to mix in plain black with the Nightmare Before Christmas this year, but I was paying $25 for these tiny little rolls. Absolutely not.
Right.
I'll pay ridiculous prices for velvet ribbon all day, but for something that's going to get thrown in the trash. No.
The stuff that didn't get delivered tonight. It was all like individual sheets, so they were like really expensive. But
I've seen a few Nightmare Before Christmas ones that was the only way you could get it. And I was just like, no, I'll just stick with the rolls I already got. And then
last year I did all handmade. All the stuff, all the equipment I used was handmade that I ordered in like sheets. But
that
it was pretty.
That magazine, they came out with paper and bags this year.
Oh, but really?
It was a bit pricey. And I'm like,
yeah,
I got a lot of presents to wrap. So I think I'm going to buy some of it to put back for Jason to wrap my presents in next year. Always like the traditional Christmas reds, greens, gold. That's what's upstairs in the loft. And I've got the red and white thing in there.
Yeah.
And then there's like red berries with the black, white, and silver in the dining room. But that's the only color other than Santa. And then there's like some red and black in the kitchen. And then you've got the Nightmare Before Christmas. And then you just have black and white goth bats in your face in the living room.
Right.
And then Grinch is in the half bathroom.
Right. And I think if you do a theme really cohesive and you do a lot of presents and you do it really well, you can make anything look Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, like, cause the first year I did black wrapping paper, people were like, that's not Christmassy. But I'm like, the better I got at like kind of doing like a whole like cohesive theme together, like it all comes together. And every year, like no matter what I choose, what I do, it like it looks gorgeous under the tree. So,
right. Well, and like
I like unconventional though.
Not watched my home tour or hasn't seen like what's going on here. They can see the black tree behind me, but literally right there in front of me to the right is a white tree with all black and white on it. So it's got like lace bats. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have like over here we'll have like the normal full baths that have like the shower, tub, toilet, sink, the whole thing. And then we have half baths that just have like a toilet and a sink.
Right.
But then like the guest room it's got a black velvet bed, but I did like all gold like deer and trees in there. And then I mean, there's a tree in my office, but it's literally just a champagne tree with black on it.
I want to buy a champagne colored tree. I just haven't found the right one that I want yet. So hopefully after Christmas, I have a couple that I've been looking at that I think they just cost more than I want to spend. But
yeah,
I was like maybe after Christmas.
The designer trees, as they like to call them, are crazy.
Right.
Or like these two, the white and the black that are in the same room, they're both flocked.
Yeah.
And I paid a ridiculous amount of money, and I know that's the only reason. It's because they're flocked.
Right.
Well, the black one's considered designer, but
then you know, like if you buy a black one that's like there's like no in between. There's like the like one that like look super cheap and the really expensive ones. So like if you're not gonna get like a traditional like I have a really nice white tree and a really nice silver tree but like a black one, like I was looking at them and I'm like, okay, they're like the $60 ones and then there's like the $800 ones.
Yeah, and I mean I've got like a cheap black pencil tree in there, but I think it's like how tall is that tree? I don't know how tall that one is. It's not very tall. And I mean, you can definitely tell a difference between that tree and the one behind me, but
right. And I do like it. I do like a traditional tree as well. I don't like a real tree though, just because of the mess.
I don't like the smell or the mess.
Right. And now I wouldn't want. I mean, like they're so expensive now. And talk about just like throwing something away, spending a lot of money to throw something away.
Yeah. Well, and they're not really that safe if you think about it either. So,
And I'd be convinced there was something in it.
oh yeah.
Because I would be the person that would get like the bat or something that was just in the tree.
You don't want you a sky puppy?
No.
So cute.
Not in not in my condo. I don't.
Let's see if I can turn this enough to get the other tree in this room. Ugh, maybe. There's the other one.
Oh yeah, I love that. See, I used to do like when I lived in the church. I had like 4 giant trees, but like my condo was like 3 stories. So, and I feel like if you live in a church, you have to decorate it for Christmas.
I actually brought that up to Mr. Chaotic earlier because, I've been on this like vintage thing. So I was like, well, if we got like this vintage, like Victorian house, like where am I going to find flocked, full designer trees that are going to be tall enough for those ceilings? And also, like, what's the price tag on those trees going to be?
Oh, because the ceilings will be taller.
Yeah, because even my 10.5 that's in my entryway,
yeah,
blocked, and it was still expensive.
Right. And so that's the problem. Like with my the little house that I lived in before, with my partner, like it was a little, it was built in like the 30s. So we had like 9-foot ceilings. So like my 7-foot tree looks fine there, but like my condo now has like I think they're 14 or 16 feet. And so like the tree, I'm like the tree looks tiny. So I'm like I need like a 10-foot tree just to make it look more substantial.
Right. Well, that's like the kid this year that she bought their very first own Christmas tree. And
yeah.
I was at the store and I sent her pictures of different ones. And she was like, well, would the 6-foot one be okay? And I was like, your boyfriend at the time, he's 6 foot. I was
Right.
like, you need to just go ahead and buy a 7.5-foot one because it's going to be pretty standard for anywhere you guys live.
Yeah. Like when I lived in that church, like all mine were like 6 or 7 foot tall, but which probably I should have bought taller, but I was in my 20s, so I didn't really, care the difference. But like a lot, and you with a 6-foot tree, you have to remember they're really probably only 5.5. They're probably only like 5 foot tall because they consider like that like long, like top branch.
Mm-hmm.
So most trees you always have to add like -6 inches off of them, and that's how tall they really are.
Yeah, like the 2 in this room are 7.5.
Right, because I'm 6 foot tall, and usually a 6-foot tree I'll stand at the top of.
Yeah.
So I do need to get going there soon because it is going to get later and later. But if you're hanging around tomorrow night or whatever, feel free to drop in the chat with Sunny and me. I think it'll be just low key and
just
whatever.
How our day goes.
Yeah.
But all right, I'm just gonna go ahead and end this too. I'm gonna go watch some kind of Christmas movies. Nobody gave me any ideas, so
Did you not get one suggestion in there?
no. The only movie that even got dropped was somebody saying that they wanted to watch Miracle on 34th Street again. I just can't get it.
I'm telling you, Family Stone.
So
maybe you might like it.
Thinking maybe hot cocoa, a nice spooky blanket, some sort of a Christmas movie, and just
Are there any new Christmas horror movies?
I feel like there was supposed to be, but I don't know if they actually came out.
Well, there's a Lindsay Lohan movie on Netflix, but I don't think it's a horror movie.
No.
Kidding.
I did watch it though.
Did you?
Pretty good. Not a movie person.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine not being a movie person. But I think it's because it's like if I turn on a good movie.
Well, I want to watch Knives Out. I haven't watched that yet. It's not Christmas.
Well, I can't even say that it gets me away from crime because I usually watch.
I know.
Violent Night. Is it out?
I know for a murder mystery, there's the new Knives Out movie that came out on Netflix, but I haven't watched it yet.
I have Krampus ready to watch. I watched Black Christmas already. And what's the other one? Silent. Is it Silent Night? Is it just called Silent Night?
Maybe.
I feel like I watched it the same night I watched Black Christmas, so. Oh, it's in theaters. I wonder if it's on HBO Plus or
It might
Paramount.
be on one of them.
I'll have to look.
Because they do that so weird now. Like you think that Knives Out movie was just on in the theater and now it's on Netflix. Like even and it's still in theaters, I think. So
I was so excited the last 2 years that they did that though, because Halloween came out the weekend of my anniversary both years.
yes.
So I was like, oh, I get to sit at home in my pajamas on my anniversary and watch Michael Myers. Score.
Right. Right. Even though I don't want to talk about the last one.
Yeah. All right, you guys, I'm going to end this.
Yeah.
Hope everybody has a great day, Christmas, holidays, everything they want in their stockings. And I will talk to you, I don't know, sometime in the near future.
Right.
I'm not going to guarantee it will be before the end of the year, though. All right.
Right. But I will talk to you before the end of the year.
You will.
Merry Christmas.